What is up, best ones worldwide? It's the best one, Donnie here, back with a brand new challenge recap video. If you're not a best one yet already, help support the channel by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications, because of course you already know the grind is real. And I am literally less than a half an hour away from, the premiere of, Ride or Dies. And I have not had the time at all today to, make my recap video on the special that actually aired earlier this week on MTV for Ride or Dies. And I always forget about these specials because I just seem to always forget about them. And I always see them last minute, which luckily I watched it last night. I checked it out and I finally can, make this recap video before the challenge comes out, but I'm sure by the time, this video gets uploaded with all the rendering and all that, you guys won't be watching this and you'll be checking out the first episode of the challenge. And I'm going to be watching the first episode of the challenge after I watch AEW because I make content on We Are Wrestling and I do reactions to it. So unfortunately, I will not be able to watch the challenge live. And the best thing about that is I get to skip commercials, which is pretty awesome. But now I'm going to be giving you guys my recap for this special for Ride or Dies, because the first thing I do want to say is this was probably one of the best specials I have seen, the challenge put together. I'm really not a big fan of these specials that they do before, the challenge starts. But the format of this one was, I thought, really special. I liked how, they showed the surprises, all talking to each other at the table and pretty much going over all, the competitors that are going to be on this season, which made it interesting because we got to see the veterans' point of view, which I really liked about this special because these people are going to be, these Ride or Dies are going to be surprises throughout this season. And I think that, having TJ already announced that and just having them really, talk the game before the game actually starts, I am all invested for that, and I really like the format of this. So, some of the notes I put down, while I was writing this, I really think the intro that TJ did in the beginning of, this Ride or Dies, I really was interested. It really reminded me of, some of the old Survivor intros with, Jeff Probst. He would always, talk to the camera and, pretty much give us viewers an inside look at the game before the game actually happens. And I think, TJ Lavin definitely did something very similar to that. And I gotta say, I was very impressed because the last two seasons have been... But with, Ride or Dies, I think that this has the potential of being a really good season. Also, I really like the insight of the surprises, seeing who they're going against. I like that. They have a whole board and they're pretty much going over all these teams one by one and really giving that inside look. And I think it really helps that Anissa is there because Anissa, follows all of these, rookies that we've never heard of on these random ass shows. So, seeing that, from her perspective of things, I think really brought, some interest, into this special because she follows, Love Island, Big Brother, all these other weird shows going on. So she has that inside scoop, which makes it interesting. And of course, having Darrell, Veronica, Jordan, Johnny Bananas, having all of these vets literally sitting here talking about these groups one by one and how they're going to cut them off is amazing to see because we need the veterans to work together to take out these friggin' new people that don't know how to play the game. So, the first group that they really, showed an inside look at was Sam and Kayla Bird, which we all know Kayla, she is going into her 6th challenge, and she actually just came off All-Stars 3, and unfortunately, lost that season, but this will be Sam's first time on the challenge, and this is 3 months after they got married, so their honeymoon is literally competing for $1 million here on the challenge. And I gotta say, the background was great. I was actually very invested in seeing, the background of Kayla and Sam, seeing, how much Kayla has grown, because, of course, in the challenge in the beginning of her, challenge career, she was there for the partying and hooking up, and now, she's a grown-ass woman. She's married to this guy that she loves, and they're really here to compete. And Kayla has always been a contender now with, the women competitors. And she's really, shown that she can play the game, and she's definitely gotten better politically. And I think that, this group is going to be a pretty good pair this season. Another thing I really liked about it was during this, special, after, the background, like, we got to see a really close inside look at the game of the challenge. And normally we get these trailers, usually, I would say, after the first episode, but they really gave us an in-depth trailer that was, not the super trailer or the first trailer we saw. This was an in-depth trailer that really showed the inside of the game, which I really like, because the people that actually tune into the special, you're getting a really close inside look at the game. You're seeing, a bunch of different things happen, and it's very interesting to see that perspective of things. Moving on now, we have two rookies, Johnny and Raven. And I gotta say, I don't really know them that much because I don't follow the other shows, Big Brother, Love Island. I just don't have the time, if I'm being completely honest with you. I love The Challenge and Survivor. Those are my two reality shows. But I gotta say, this video package for Johnny and Raven, I love the potential that these two have. And I think Raven, especially, is going to be bringing something interesting to this game. And I think that, it's going to be very interesting, this pairing. I think we got some good rookies on our hands, and this is the thing about the rookies. I don't know them, so I try not to judge them until I actually watch them on the challenge compete, because I'm not going to listen to what happened on Big Brother. I'm not going to listen to what happened on Love Island. I don't care. What I care about is what they're going to bring to the show that I love, which is the challenge. And I think that these two are going to be a great pairing on this season. Also, I gotta say, when they started talking about Jay and Michelle, I actually thought it was pretty funny to see Bananas taking shots pretty much at Jay being with Morgan. Pretty much, talking about how Morgan was like his ex-girlfriend. And, throwing some shade there with Jay, even though, I know both of these two have not really, shown the beef and shown the tension and the problems on the season prior that they were on, which I believe was Total Madness. They kept it all pretty much on the low. But now Bananas, the fact that he's actually on here and just, straight, taking shots, I'm very surprised to see that. Because normally Bananas does not really talk about his relationships and stuff on television. So, very interested to see what happens here, because I think, Jay and Michelle, they're definitely going to be a tough pair, and I don't want to see Bananas go after him right away and take him out. I want to see Jay and Michelle have a pretty good season, because that is a very strong pairing, and I like how the vets were even, appreciating Jay and Michelle as well. I really did like that, saying that these guys are going to be a strong pairing. I did like how they recognized that, and I respect that. And I gotta say, I still don't like Fessy, but Mariah, she's got potential. I think, she's going to be very good on the show, and I think that, we might definitely see her in future challenges. But Fessy, I still don't really care or like him at all. Moving on now, we have Tommy and Annalise, which I gotta say, meh. That was my thoughts on that whole background thing. Meh. I believe these two were the Big Brother pairing, and usually for me, I don't really like Big Brother that much. I don't understand the game, and literally, all they do is just sit in the house, and they politic, and they be fake to each other, and then they eliminate somebody. And there's nothing fun or exciting about that. Literally, I can watch freaking Fox News if I'm watching Big Brother. And I'm sorry to the Big Brother fans that are, watching this. I'm just not a fan of it. And I think that these two are going to be getting thrown in eliminations a lot. But I'm very curious to see how they're going to do. And another thing that got brought up, which I wasn't surprised about, was Bananas talking to Jordan about Tori and where, their relationship stands. Because, of course, we all know at War of the Worlds 2, Jordan proposed to Tori and they were supposed to get married. And, about like a year and a half later, they both, canceled it and they have, broken up and moved on. And, Jordan was really, he was real in this, and I respect that. Pretty much, talking about how he has not seen Tori since they broke up, and he doesn't know, like, how he's gonna feel seeing her if she's with another male, and, he doesn't know how, she's gonna feel if he's with another female. I think that, it's very interesting to see his side of things, because I'm sure he's not gonna be coming in the game right away, and we all know that Tori's definitely going to be talking about him a little bit. So we're obviously going to be getting her side of things. But seeing Jordan's side of things with this, I think is very interesting because we all know Jordan as, this competitor and pretty much this hothead that likes to get under people's skins. But we really don't see that, like, the inside of him. And I think we got a little bit of that with this. Moving on now to our next thing here. I gotta say, Colleen and Kim, I really like this pairing. I think that these two are gonna go pretty far. They look like fierce competitors, and I think that these are gonna be one of the strongest rookies. And then we had Olivia, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her partner's name. I think that they're also gonna be a pretty decent team as well. I think that this season they got a pretty solid rookie class, I do gotta say. And I really hope that they really impress me because the rookies that they have been bringing on to the challenge recently have been literally. So I really want to have some excitement. I want to have some rookies I can actually root for. And another thing I did like as well, the Turbo drama. And I like how, in the beginning of this, Nany was talking about her relationship with Turbo because, of course, on War of the Worlds 1, these two were separable. These two were so close in the house. Nany and Turbo were on the same team until they broke them up, which I thought was stupid when they did the friggin' breakup there. That could have been Nany's friggin' championship for the challenge, which, is so disappointing. Because I've been following her since, Real World Las Vegas. But I gotta say, and then, of course, she mentioned in War of the Worlds 2, they were both, on opposite sides, and how the alliance that Turbo was working with, Kara, Paulie, and, all of them, that pretty much, he was getting manipulated. And I kind of liked how she brought that, because she's still standing up to what she believes in, and I think that's why Nany is one of the fan favorites. And I did like how she brought that up, and we all know, if you've seen, the in-depth trailers, and you've seen the trailers and stuff, Turbo and Nany are going at it multiple times, and I'm very curious to see how that's going to happen. Does it have something to do with Bananas, or does it have something to do with War of the Worlds 2? Because we all know Turbo is one of those guys that he will always hold a grudge, and he will never let go of it. We've definitely seen it from his 2 seasons. And I kind of liked how Jordan was being a smartass about it, saying, me and Turbo, we're going to be best friends this season. And Nany's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But I do got to say, the one thing I didn't like, there was only one con to this, and I don't know if maybe they're keeping it on the low for when Devin and, Bananas are in the same room. But I did not like how, there really wasn't any, in-depth stuff about the rivalry with Devin and Johnny Bananas, because we know they have so much history, especially Final Reckoning. That was the last show that they were on together, and they literally almost fist fought at the after show of that season, and they were going at each other's necks. So for me, I really, want to know Johnny's side of things now, because it's been years since that happened. And I really want to know what's going to happen with Devin and Bananas. I really hope that they can put their differences to the side and work together, because they're both, one of my favorite challenge competitors on the show. And I feel like if they work together, it's a wrap for everybody else. But I gotta say, overall, this Ride or Die special was absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10. Really makes me very excited for what's in store for this season for the Challenge 38, Ride or Die. But guys, let me know in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are on the special if you did watch it. If I knew that this was out, I probably would have gotten this video out a little bit, sooner rather than later, because literally now there's like 10 minutes until the premiere of the challenge. But unfortunately, I will not be watching it live. I am going to be watching it after my AEW show. But if you guys, are challenge fans and you guys, are just looking for different content, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. The links are down in the description below. You can go follow me on my social medias and other YouTube pages. All that down below. Also, tomorrow, I will be having my recap video for the premiere of Ride or Dies, and I will be giving you guys my thoughts on the first episode. And I'm going to be trying to do these every Thursday, so you're not going to want to miss it. But of course, to all the best ones, we are taking over. Peace.